start first with a program that would be applicable to that. So what I sent the email out for is called the Intuitive Success Club. What I would recommend for you, though, is the first module, which is called the Intuitive Factor. And you can go look at that under the Intuitive Success Club, and then it says Intuitive Factor. That will teach you how to activate the 7 centers. And in doing so, you'll be able to feel your intuition. So I just want to tell you a quick little like personal note that I will say. I actually use intuition as an example for falling in love, because when we fall in love, our heart completely opens, right? And our heart is just like, yes, yes, yes. So what I'd like you to do, and everything's optional, but what I'd invite you to do is to feel into your heart. So that same place, it's like, yes. And then now I want you to drop into your belly, a couple inches below your belly button, and I want you to feel your gut feeling. It's like a knowing. Have you ever felt that kind of like you know that you know? Have you ever had that feeling before? Not sure. Okay, good, good. Okay, so let's work with it, because I want you to be able to feel that, because what happens when we're following our intuition, it's actually your mind, your heart, and your gut all click in. It all resonates. So what usually happens when we're in love is we just follow our heart, but sometimes it's that inner knowing, that our gut feeling is saying no. For instance, I was just in a relationship where my heart was like, yes, yes, yes. But deep down, I knew there was something that probably wouldn't last forever, but my heart was still saying yes. So sometimes we override what we know, and I guarantee you at the deepest level, you do know, but sometimes we can't hear it because it's blocked. So that's actually where the NLP factor comes in. But I want to just start where you're at right now to see if you can feel it, because I know it's there. So let's see, can you imagine a time, just remember a time maybe in your recent past where you had kind of like a nudge, like something? Is there any time you can think of in your recent past where you just kind of had this like inner nudge or this knowing? Is there anything that comes to mind? Yeah. So can you tell me just a little bit about that situation? No need to disclose any details you don't want to, but just to kind of help me gather information.
Okay. A wonderful man that I'm dating now sent me an application for a week. I just needed to get away, and I've been over it, but I just needed to get away and kind of de-stress.
Yeah.
And all love in my life happened to reach out to me. So we talked a little, and the next day he said, should I come? Listen, I have shame about it, and I know I shouldn't, but I really thought of having him come. I thought, so what are you crazy?
Okay. So that's your intuition. See, I told you you already knew it. that you felt? Right. Right. Okay, that's your knowing. So follow more of that. And then in the intuitive factor, we activate the 7 energies, show you how to stay in alignment with your soul's purpose in the light at all times. But I just want you to remember that, because it's discernment. So the word is discernment. So your mind may say, oh, of course, I'd love you to come, or love the better, right? But deep down, there's that knowing that you experience. So as you're making decisions like you did, just keep following your gut. And when you're following your gut, you know that you're in alignment. And it's actually, if you sometimes get confused, because sometimes your mind can say one thing and your heart can say another, drop into your gut, and that will ultimately give you the answer. Does that help? Yeah.
I always thought it was just like head is on or in conflict, and everything connection brings me aligned. And I think that hearing your voice, your mind, I mean, you're telling me that this is a very beautiful thing.
Totally. Well, here's the thing. It's natural. It's the most natural thing on the planet. And I swear, like, I am here and so many other people are to wake up to what we already know. And it's honestly, it's clearing the stuff that we've been told and conditioned to believe. And that's why I teach NLP as part of the club. And you may or may not want to do that, but it's just part of it, because it's like our mind can get in the way. And if you go research like intuition or heart math or any of that, you'll see that there's a higher intelligence. It's actually your body. Your body knows. And so that's why we say gut feeling, because and it never leaves you. Yeah, totally. So so the purpose is to keep trusting your inner guidance, and then from there you can start to consciously create what you want, but you're in alignment with something higher than just your head or your thoughts. You're actually feeling life force energy. So the 7 chakras are actually a way to do it, but we have these activations that allow you to feel the energy. So kind of like your gut. So yeah. So hopefully that gives you a little step, you know, in the right direction of just trusting yourself more. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, if you want, you can send so if you go to Life Force Connection, just go to Life Force Connection and go under the Intuitive Success Club. Just put your mouse there and you'll see a drop down box and it says the Intuitive Factor. And I would start there. Oh, yeah, just Google the word intuition. Intuition or heart math. But I would just start, yeah, heart math. Something, yeah, I don't know. Somebody told me about that a long time ago and it's just coming through for you to research. Heart math and intuition. Yeah. Yeah, and then you can send me an email too that was on there if you have any other questions. But I just want you to have fun with it and just have the experience, and then you'll keep trusting more.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Cool. Nice to meet you. I think it was your intuition. That's awesome. All right. We'll stay in touch. You're welcome. All right. So who's the next caller we have online? Like I said, I can't see any of you, so you guys are going to have to speak up if you have a question. I don't know why the system won't let me see you. It's funny. I keep hearing people buzzing on, but I can't see anything. That's intuition for you. You got to just feel it. So, all right. Hey, who's this? I wondered if it was you. Hey, girl, how are you? I'm good. So good to hear from you. That's so funny. I was thinking of you the other day. Of course you're here. So what's up? Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Oh.
And, you know, the last 15 months have been a little rocky, but I kind of got like the last couple months I was kind of like, I have all these tools that Abby gave me, like why am I not using them?
Yeah.
So I started using them and I was like, oh.
Right? I know. Life, yeah. Absolutely. Life gives us experiences, right? And I have been in the same boat. Like, wow, here I am sitting on everything. And the thing is for you and everybody is to take action. And you can't do it wrong, Trace. That's the deal. It's all learning. And I think the fear often comes when people, myself included, are afraid to try something new, right? Because intuition will take you into the unknown. But I know because we worked together for like a year. When you trusted your intuition, you manifested like crazy. So just keep doing it. And just because you're in a program or not in a program, either way, you still use your intuition, right? So don't stop doing it just because you're not in the program. Keep practicing. Keep practicing. Yeah. But action is what I get for you, sister. What would it take? What would it take for you to break through the fear of trusting yourself again? What would that take?
So what I've kind of been trying to play with a little bit, and I have a lot of guilt right now.
Okay.
A lot of disappointment in myself.
Okay.
So like not trusting my intuition a year ago, not making it to Thailand, not doing all these things that I was like doing. So I'm disappointed in myself for that. Okay. And then I have a lot of guilt stuff around my kids. And so like first and second a lot, but I'm not 100%. Like I don't know if I feel like there's something deeper that I need to work on, and I'm just having trouble like getting there.
Okay. So all right. So the first thing is to drop into the guilt and tell. Wow. Okay. Hold on 1 second. Send me an email too, because send me an email because I feel like you need a refresher on some of the classes. So go through what you have and just start at step 1, you know, so start at, you know, the first chakra, second chakra and work up. The thing is the guilt is trying to tell you something, but you're kind of stuck in it. So you want to see if you can move up if you actually start at your first chakra and move up to the fourth, you'll clear it because it's a forgiveness process. And like I said, if you want to send me an email, I'll make sure you have all those classes. Since you took the program, however long it was, we actually automated it. So each class will be sent automatically. So if you want to send me an email so you have them all in order, I'll resend them to you so you can review it. Because you just need to refresh. You just need to refresh what you already know. And what I would say is when you go through the classes, go to parts integration and go to chakras 1 through 4. And that should clear it up for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then call me if you want any other like coaching, but those are the tools that you would use.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know what, sister, don't beat yourself up, for the love of God. Like, we are all learning, and it's kind of like sometimes we like look at things and we're like, oh, let's judge them from our mind, and we don't really know. So for whatever reason, you made whatever decision you did, and maybe now it's motivating you to go to the next level. You know what I'm saying? So don't judge. Drop in and trust what you know at that gut feeling from the now moment, because that's really all we all have. Right? Yeah. So good job. So good to hear your voice. Love you. Okay, I'll talk to you soon. Bye. All right. Who else do we have on the call? All right. Do we have anybody else on the call that needs to ask a question?
Hi. Yeah. Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going great over here.
Yay, who is this? Hi, honey. How are you?
I'm really good. This is so exciting.
Oh, you know, I was thinking of you too. I was feeling your love, and something, I don't remember what it was, but your spirit came through, and I was like, that woman is just here. Your presence is great, my dear. It really is. I don't say that lightly. It's really profound. It really is. So how can I help you today? Did you just want to hear my voice too? What is it with my voice? Oh dear. Wow. 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 Oh.
And I get home, just before 5, what do I see? This little email that came through, like late, all my emails have been coming through late, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh.
And there it was. I get to hear your voice instead of.
Oh, thank you so much. I so appreciate it. And I'm wondering, with your permission, if I can share something that happened for you a few weeks ago, because it's so applicable to intuition. Do I have your permission just to share something that I think you'd be totally fine with?
I would be totally fine with it.
Okay. So Lee and I were doing a session, I want to say like a month ago, and I don't even need to go into what it was, other than we talked about being enough. And I kid you not, the next time I talked to her, I think it was a couple days later, by aligning with her intuition and coming back to just who she was, that was more than enough, she manifested 3 new job opportunities and obviously took one, and that's what you're on to. So to me, that is so powerful for everybody, that we know that we're enough. And when we connect and tune in to our core, it's guiding us to our highest path, and that's always enough, because we're it. So I just love that, Lee, and I'm so glad you came on, because I could hear your voice and share that, because it's so simple but so true. So thank you for being who you are.
Thank you, Abby, for all your
Yeah. Oh, you're so welcome. Somebody knocking at my door. So yes, is there anything else that I can do for you, sweetheart?
Rest in the community, and then I'll know better what it is for everybody to ask.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want.
Going on right now.
Yeah, totally. Do whatever you want. Like I said, I don't even know who's on because I can't see it. Normally I can see everybody, but I can't. So if you want to hang up, we'll see if anybody else pipes up. And if not, you're more than welcome to just put myself on mute. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So who do we have next that has a question or would like to share anything? I am all here. All right, let's see. Is anybody else on? I can't see you, so you're going to have to speak if you're on. We'll give it a few minutes, Lee. I'm not hearing anybody else, so you might be the last one on. All right, girl. Well, I'm not hearing anybody else pipe up, so if you have anything coming through, feel free. Otherwise, I will just sit and just breathe in presence because that is just so fun. It just grounds us all. So if you just want to take a deep breath, and let's just move our awareness from our head into our heart space. So any thoughts from the day, anything that you're carrying with you, just allow it to just rest in the love of your heart. Just breathing in love and just exhaling peace. And just knowing all is well. And as you're breathing, start to notice the rise and fall of your belly. That rise and fall is exactly where your intuition is. And I believe that's why they say in yoga to connect with your breath. It actually connects us with our intuition. It connects us with the life force. So breathing into our belly, opening our hearts, and just allowing that subtle knowing just to start to emerge. It's almost like bubbling up, like there would be bubbles coming up from the water. Just allow this bubbling knowing to come forth, come up through your belly, and allow it just to rise up through your heart, up through your mind. And just let that knowing just start to wash over any thoughts, anything in the past, anything and everything that you'd like to just be cleansed from or released. Just let that knowing, almost the energy of forgiveness, be still in the call, yeah, but be really fun just to bring in that energy of just forgiveness and just allowing the present moment to be enough, to be more than enough. Just allowing yourself to settle. So seeing if your body can get really comfortable and just like I'm kind of moving my shoulders around and my hips a little bit. I'm sitting cross-legged right now because I'm on the floor. But if your feet are on the ground, if you're sitting in a chair, just kind of allow your body to get comfortable. And as your body gets comfortable, your mind can actually open to receive downloads, to receive information, insights. So just feeling that opening in your mind. And as you do, you'll start to feel your heart open deeper, even still, to deeper love, deeper peace. And you notice we really just keep going up and down from head to toe. And that's actually the way your life force energy runs naturally when you're fully connected. The light is moving through you. It's really what I call my company Life Force Connection, because when it happened when I was 19, it's like it literally felt like just life force pouring through. And that's why I discovered that the chakras, when you activate them, your natural state is this connection with source. And it just continues to flow. So everyone, if anybody is still on the call besides Lee, go ahead and bring that through and just allow that light to move from head to toe. It's this beam of light, and then it circles back up and down, up and down. So the way I see it, it's literally this beam coming like where your spine is, comes up the front side of your body and then back down. At the top of your head, there's actually the opening of your crown chakra, which you know, Lee, from the course. But if you haven't taken the course yet, just see it just like a beam of white light at the top of your head. That represents your higher self. So my teacher, Sonia Choquette, called it your crowning glory. And the reason is because you're totally connected to source. When you've balanced all the chakras below that, you open up to your divinity. And that's where you can actually see beyond the physical. So when we're opening up into our intuition and our hearts, we get these, what I'm calling insights, right? Or downloads, which are these flashes that come through as visions, these knowings, right? That gut feeling, that nudge, clairsentience. Um, and just, you may feel it, just in your whole body too. Your heart may start to activate, then you drop down into your gut to get that knowing. So kind of play around with where you're feeling the energy move. And then you can also hear things. So you may get like an inner voice saying, go here, go there. It's just meant to guide you. It's just meant to support you to stay in alignment with that light. And just like when you turn a light into a dark room, it shows what's there. Okay, so it shows what's inside of you. It shows what's in a job situation or a person. And the thing is, a lot of people are afraid of it sometimes, right? Because they're like, ooh, I don't know if I can see that. And I believe, intuitive people are some of the most courageous people because they're willing to see. And deep underneath it all, they know the truth, which is pure love. So no matter what you see, at the core, you're still love. So just to feel that and know that will allow you just to move on your journey and ultimately break through any fears that your mind's creating and just kind of, disintegrate them, break them apart. So if you have any fears or premonitions about following your intuition, like, where will it take me? How can I trust? Just think about a time that you did follow that inner knowing, like we had the first caller talking about her gut feeling and she made that choice and what happened, that she knew it was the right choice. Just kind of think of a time where you did that and then keep building on that, because that trust will create a confidence that really can't be stopped. It's like a very inner confidence that eventually people will trust, right? And that's why I do what I do now, because I just knew it. And I knew it so much that eventually, actually pretty quickly, people started trusting because they felt it in them. And that's the thing, truth is truth. So people will feel an activation or an awakening, whatever you want to call it, because again, it's already there. Again and again and again, everything we're digging for and going for is actually already there. It's your core. And as you light that up, you just reconnect higher and higher and discover your ability to create and manifest. So as you move up the chakras from your heart up is your ability to start creating the life you desire. So once you balance your lower three, which is about your security, your gut feeling, which is that knowing, and your power center, your third chakra, you move into your heart. From your heart, you create from the foundation of love. From your heart, you can express from love, which is your fifth chakra, and your sixth chakra creates a vision. So we do something, Lee, you probably remember, intention marries intuition. So you have your intention of, hey, universe, I'd like to create this. Okay, intuition, you're my guide, show me. And your intellectual mind may not know how, but that's okay, because you're connected at your gut because you opened your second chakra and you're moving up. So now that your gut's connected, your sixth chakra will show you, oh, here's the vision, here's the next step. So perfect example, this afternoon, I got a call from somebody who had actually called me about a year ago. And at that time I was working with another coach, and I didn't feel fully aligned with that coach, but I knew I was supposed to be in the program because I was there to learn. So this woman at the time said, no worries, I'm here, just let that program finish out. And when it's done, I'm here. So I said, okay, great. I really didn't think about it. So she calls me, it's probably a year later. And she's like, you popped into my mind. And my intention has been, I want to go to the next level in my business. I don't feel resonant with this particular person. I would like to open up. What's new? And she called me. Example of the universe giving it to you, right? You not knowing. And here's the even funnier part. I actually tried to sign up with that old coach and I got kicked out of the system and they sent me my money back. It was the funniest thing. I went in the computer, they're like, we're sorry, we did not accept the address that you typed in. And I'm like, oh, that's funny. And I tried again, kicked me out, sent me my money back. I'm like, okay, that's a sign that's not meant to happen. And then this person shows up. So the deal is, when you set your intention, my intention, take my business to the next level, my intuition was active, my gut feeling, the universe then does the rest, right? Now I'm in complete peace, because when you follow your intuition, you will feel peace. That's how you know you made the right decision, because it's in alignment. And then you keep moving up. So then from the 6th chakra, you go to the 7th. And the 7th is that unity with God. It's that unity with the universe. And so there becomes this trust. I use the word higher self. My friend, you can check her out. Tell her I sent you. I love this lady. Her name's Heather Alice Shea. She does higher self work specifically. So we do it a little bit in the course. But she really masters just her connection with it and then your connection with it. But what the higher self is it sees beyond our bodies. So it sees all the different realms and it allows us to actually grow as a soul. So that's why I was telling Tracy earlier that there really is no judgment because we're just seeing on one dimension. We're just seeing the physical level. But what we don't know is what's going on higher soul realms and what needed to happen. Like I keep getting the word forgiveness. Like I don't know if that's a theme for tonight's call or for me or for Tracy or what it is. But if you just feel, if everybody just feels the energy of forgiveness, just kind of bring that energy in and everybody just anchor that feeling of forgiveness. So the way you anchor is you feel the feeling and just place your hand on your heart. And it could be anywhere in your body for 3 seconds. This is an NLP technique. You can find out about it or again under the Intuitive Success Club and you'll see Intuitive Factor. That's on the website, lifeforceconnection.com. So feel the forgiveness. So again, bring that forgiveness up so you can think of a time you felt that. You can think if it was an image, what would it be? Feeling. And just go ahead and bring that forgiveness into some situation that maybe you too feel guilty about something, or maybe somebody wronged you, or you're upset at a situation at work or in a relationship. Excuse me, go ahead and just bring that energy of forgiveness into that situation by seeing the situation, feeling forgiveness right now, and then stepping into that situation with this forgiveness. So you're basically into that situation. You can just watch it transform. So now your mind will be really useful. You're going to settle in, keep your energy complete, because what will happen is a transition will happen. You'll feel the transformation. You'll feel the energy around that situation change. So when you think of it, or peace or neutrality, you will feel some positivity, some positive emotion around it. And if you want, just for kicks, you can actually put your other hand on your gut feeling, on your intuition, and just allow your intuition to start guiding the experience and see what it has to share with you. Receive. Just feel that activation start to happen. It softens. And then coming fully back into the room, so maybe blinking your eyes open if you close them like me. And just kind of scanning your body. Just notice that the tension that you might have been feeling before you got on the call about transforming the situation is now softer. It's transformed, it's open, it's moving. And the reason we transform things is it actually allows more energy to circulate through us, right? So the more energy, the more life force we have, the more light we have, the more we can change the world, right? So, and the more we become who we are, the better we feel. So that's, you know, I mean, I feel like all these things, right? But if you're not happy and you're not in alignment, you're not going to feel good. But here's the beautiful thing about this process, the intuitive success process, is because we work at the core, you align first and results follow. So you're not reaching outside, you're actually aligning first. It's like, to thyself be true, right? boom, aligned. And then the results happen because of that. So it's just really fun because you don't really have to market anyone their self, right? Be in that alignment, and then your results will follow. Maybe it's the career, maybe it's the money, maybe it's the relationship, maybe it's your health, maybe it's happiness, whatever it is, your soul. That's why I really say, like Lee knows from, the course, I'm like, hey, you're going to get whatever experience your soul actually created, because, I know in every cell of my being, everybody I get to work with is so aligned at a soul level, a much deeper level than any of my mind's, whatever it wants to create. It's not about that. It's about the heart and these deeper, I want to say even soul contracts, where we've come together to actually raise each other up. And that's really what this community and this movement is about. So I know a lot of you are just kind of piquing your interest and you're like, that feels pretty resonant, but I'm not really sure. So I just want to thank you for showing up and just being willing to play, and just know that as we dive deeper and I start offering you more things, just to trust yourself, right? And in turn, by trusting yourself, you'll trust me more. Me are saying, hey, go back home to yourself. Hey, remember who you are. Hey, remember you're a miracle. Remember you can do anything. And remember that you are connected to God at all times, are not separate, and that any illusion or separateness in your thinking is just a manifestation of conditioning, and that we can shift with the NLP and that we can shift with our conscious awareness to source, right? And our ability to really just tap into the wisdom underneath the thought, and that wisdom is your knowing. So there's your download, Lee, and everybody else that was listening. Thank you for creating this space. That was fun. That was super fun.
Sure, okay. Yeah, well, that's fun, actually.
Yeah. Are you feeling better?
Oh, I felt great as soon as I saw it. Awesome. Heart is open, chakras are aligned, everything's spinning.
Yeah.
I feel good.
Yeah. Good. Awesome. All right. Well, I'm going to see, is there anybody else on the call that wants to pipe up at all? I know people get kind of shy, but if there's anybody else, I want to just create like 30-second window to do that. And then if not, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. So let's just see. I'll just hold the space.
Happy, this is Linda.
Hey, Linda, love.
Hi. I was there. I had the experience, and I sort of didn't want to leave where I was.
Yeah.
Is it open, right?
Yeah, so just know that the energy will continue, and yeah, I would really recommend looking at the course, because you want to know these chakra centers, and you want to keep moving it, because once you know how to activate it, it's just a practice. Like Lee will tell you that too, because it's like the energy's there, but you have to keep it moving. So stay, the energy's still moving, and then my invitation is just to stay in the practice of it. And that would be at the activation. But the thing is, your vibration already shifted, so it's permanent. So what we're doing is we're changing the cells and the subconscious and the superconscious. So just trust that what you did it's a permanent shift. And as far as staying there, yeah, that's what's coming through. You want to learn the process, so you keep doing it over and over, and then applying it to your life. At all?
Yeah, very much.
For it. That's fun. And I think I'm going to have to send this out to people that weren't able to make the call, because that was pretty fun. I love it. It's just what I love about this work is like, yeah,
right?
Yeah. Oh, it always is. Like I'm actually looking to start growing more numbers, but I want to preserve the intimacy of it, because that was my concern. I realized I kind of stopped it from getting into hundreds of people, because my groups are smaller, one-on-one, like Lee was in my private classes, because I like to go deep. Like I said, sometimes people are nervous about it, and it's like, I get it. But I also know we're all human. And it's like, I had an experience yesterday. I literally just broke down. I cried and cried and cried, because I saw my humanness. I just got wow, I'm not perfect as a human. I'm perfect as a soul. I remember I downloaded this thing one time. It was you know, our essence is perfect, like, but it's like everything that we think, or even just basically the point is our humanness is just our experience, but the essence is the soul, and it's what's living through all of this. And so if we can just look at it and observe it, we'll come back home to that truth of our knowing. But it was like so humbling to kind of, basically I had to remove judgment. I was judging somebody who hurt me so bad, and finally I was like, I'm going to stop this. This is silly. And I turned it on myself, and I was like, wow, I'm judging myself. Wow, I have guilt in myself. Oh, okay. And then I went into it, and I'm telling you, it left. And it was like, I just remember saying, I can't forgive myself. And it's like, but I did. Like in that moment of like going to that vulnerable place, I let go. And then it just flooded in, and I was like, oh my God, I'm amazing. I'm light, you know? But I think it's the resistance to like what we don't want to see. And then that's why people get defensive, and I've gotten defensive, right? Like there's just, it's the response of like trying to protect. But the thing is, there's nothing to protect when you know you're loved. And that is what your intuition will take you to. So, you know, your intuition, like, you know, in relationship could lead you or another person to a certain thing from a higher perspective of love, but your mind may not understand it. But if you keep trusting what you know, because I know you were talking about relationship, if you keep trusting what you know, the way will be shown. And believe me, Lee knows I've been there. I went through a significant thing this last year that literally knocked my socks off and took me to a whole new place that I never thought I could go. And so I'm speaking from really clear experience that if you are in the purity of the essence of love and you connect with your intuition, the way will absolutely be shown. But you have to trust yourself, or your mind will make you crazy, literally, because it's just like, right? It's just like, you know, it's a misuse of the imagination, actually. Our imagination, really, you guys, should be used for like creating, like when we're kids, you know? Like, imagine I'm going to be a mom when I grow up, la la la. Like, that's what I say you should use your mind for. Like, you know, I want to have this like movement or whatever, you know? So play with that. Play with that.
Tracy and Abby, may I chime in this week?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so Abby knows that with the little children with the senses. My intuition said to me, make it 5+1. So +1 is your imagination, which is really your intuition. And we put it, and the children naturally put it right on their forehead. I mean, I'm just like, it was amazing to me. And some of them made this little star right on their forehead.
Wow. That's
amazing. It wasn't me telling them
right.
This is it.
Right.
It was just me saying, okay, this is what is.
Right.
This is what we use.
Right.
To move in the world and survive and know things.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Kids know. I mean, they're like the most intuitive ever. I was working with a client yesterday, and it's funny you mentioned the star, because I saw the Star of David on the top of her head, like at her crown chakra. And I was like, wow, what does that mean? We had a meaning that it meant for her, but it was just an activation. So it's interesting that you were talking about they saw a star at the third eye, and I just saw that yesterday. So I'd be curious to see what, you know, the universe is downloading through us, because I know that's a powerful symbol. I actually don't know much about it, but it's fascinating that it keeps coming through. It's really cool. Wow. I love that you're doing that work with kids, Lee, and really bringing what your intuition knows through. It's just opening that space, you know, like we've talked about, for you to just be that amazing light that you are for them. Allows them to just be who they are. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's opening up differences for me, that things that are opening up, that kind of starting to have key visions. And it's all symbolic.
Yeah.
And then finally allowing the gifts and the genius that is me to participate with the rest of it.
Yep. Right? It's just, it's been waiting for the right platform. Like, you know, you learned all the tools and skills, and I find this with a lot of people. It's kind of like I set them up, and then life happens, and then it goes. So it's like you've been talking about this, and now it feels like this job is like the platform for you to actually do what you're doing. What is the thing that we talked about? I just love the name of it. It starts with heart. I always forget it, but I love it. Your process that you work with people on.
Learn by heart.
Learn by heart. Learn by heart. I just love that. You can just feel it. Resonance. So yeah, I mean, it's such a beautiful manifestation to see it. And I just know the value it's bringing to these kids, you know, and in their parents too, you know, because kids, I feel like kids teach us, you know. I know they have a lot. Wow. Huh. I just see this beam of light coming through. I want to see what it has to tell me. Oh, that's what it is. So Sonia used to say, when you see a symbol, so ask what it's meant to tell you, because you'll start, you know, obviously, because you've been doing a lot of work, getting these insights and stuff. Is it representing something? Like, is it like happening in the physical reality? Or is it a symbol representing something, right? So you can get images of like a person, right? And then what does it mean, you know? So I saw this guy with, you know, green eyes and dark hair, and I thought I was going to marry him. No, I was just supposed to see him. You know what I'm saying? And then by the way, a few days ago, I saw another guy on the beach, you know, with green eyes and dark hair, and that was just one time meeting, right? Because I had this whole made that mean because I saw that in a vision. So when you see things in a vision, ask what it wants to tell you. Or is it happening in reality? B, what does it want to tell you? Because you can watch how quickly your mind will make it mean something, right? Like, oh, that's the one. He has green eyes and dark hair, right? Oh, actually, not really. You're just supposed to meet him, right? So it's like, just play with what you're getting and dive deeper. And then for resonance, drop into that gut feeling. So you'll feel the resonance in your body. It'll feel true. Okay, that's how you know. What did we call it? Truthometer, Lee, in the course? It's like, oh, true, not true. Yes, no, right? You can kind of feel it. So just play around with that. Does that help? Yeah. Cool. Cool. I wonder if Tracy hopped off. I wish she'd pipe on. She was on our very first group thing that we led. I'm like, Tracy, come back. I miss your energy. She's so much fun.
Really?
I think she might have popped up. I'm not sure. She's really busy. She has a lot of kids. Yeah. 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 All right. Well, go ahead. Oh, you did? Yeah.
I'm smiling, guys.
Good, good. Well, welcome to the club. You're feeling the vibe. That's what we do. We smile and laugh a lot. And we also cry a lot. It's funny. It's like, it's a release, you know, like I remember when I first started, the like person walked into my office and just starts crying in my presence. I'm like, huh. And then I realized it was a good thing because it's the body releasing. So it's like, you know, just remember, it's like as you release, you open, and then it connects you deeper even still to what's there. And then the joy that emerges, it's kind of like the water, you know, that we talked about is bubbling up, bubbles up, it fills the space. So we're clearing out, releasing, and then filling the space with more light, right? But here's the beautiful thing, I just got to say, like, you know, when like life happens and we feel like, I don't know, it's like breaking our heart, right? It's breaking it open and it's actually deepening us. If you actually think about the physics of it, it's deepening us, and that's filling us up with more light, because eventually it has to. So it's like the whole duality thing like doesn't exist when you evolve to the soul level, because it's like, oh, that actually made me deeper and more light, because there's more space now to be filled with light. So, you know, if you can just take whatever is maybe challenging you in your experience and say, wow, this is an opportunity to actually become more light. And the more light I feel, the more intuitive I am, and the more I can serve, and the more I can fulfill my soul purpose, right? Which A is to love and be loved. That is foundation for everybody. B, you can read about the soul blueprint. We have that in the course too, because I actually don't know unless I give you a reading or you find it. But it's like, that's the beauty of our uniqueness, right? We come with specific purposes. But I learned to love and be loved is our very first one. When I first opened my wellness center, I was like, it just came to me. It's like level, period, you know? So there's an infinity sign that's coming through that connects us all in that infinite love. So just
I have to mark this because it's like our planet is missing us.
Yeah. Well,
because we're not grounded in her.
Yeah.
And so we're making right choices because we're not grounded in her. She's missing us. Things are happening that are hurting her, hurting life, and hurting nature.
Yeah.
And when we're grounded in her, those things don't happen.
Yeah. Yeah. And so some of us are, I'm getting really clear, some of us are. And it's a constant practice to be there and be the change that we wish to see. Like that's why I started One Heart globally, that you are, a part of when you're in the course, which was we're all connected, right? At this one. And if we get in that heart, we will feel grounded and we'll eventually fall into grace. We'll eventually surrender and see what we're doing, right? Those of us that, there's part of us that, honestly, there's part of us that is doing it and isn't doing it. Like I'm thinking myself, like I'm really grounded and conscious. Then I'm also thinking sometimes I throw recycle stuff in the trash, right? Sometimes I go unconscious. So it's a practice. It's like, okay, both exist. And where's our focus and where's our practice? So I love what you said. Yes, it's about being grounded. I do believe that you and many, I believe we all have the ability and the choice. We all have the ability to come back home to our true nature and ourselves. And when we do, this planet will become light. And the time and the space that takes, it could be years. I don't know. I'm not tuning into that. I just know that as we do that, the world will then reflect that. But we have those practices, especially you, Lee, to be in that place, of grounded. And I totally believe that it is the change because people see us, like, I mean, when I first started, I would walk into a room and people would be like, who are you? What do you do? They would just feel my energy and then they'd want it. So that's how you'll get clients, by the way, if you ever start a practice or anything, and even your job, Lee, anything you're wanting to create, a relationship, it works the same way. It's like, what are you doing? Because you radiate. Like, it's like contagious, it's like, oh, I want that. Oh, I want that. That's fun, So it's kind of like, just be the change is the message and be the light, and you will attract more light and you will grow in the grace of that and it will unfold. But don't be afraid of the dark because it just needs your light. It just needs your love. That's it. So, yeah, I hope that helps you guys. Yeah, I know. I told you, so much, and we all do. And I think it's exciting for you because there's some part of you that trusted, you know what I'm saying? And it's almost like you didn't even know that you trusted because you weren't planning on it. You're like, wow, I'm on, right? And it's like, I think again, that's intuition. It's kind of like, oh, I'm ready for it, and I didn't even know it. And then you just feel into it and you surrender and you open, and it's a softening. So just let yourself soften and feel. And it's like, there's no pressure, there's only love. And then it's a release and it's an open, it's a release and it's open. And then you're grounded, actually. The only thing that ungrounds us, you guys, is fear, because fear constricts. I wrote that in the last newsletter before this. It literally cuts us off. So if you soften, and by the way, a lot of our fears are beliefs and things that people have told us. So imagine these are your beliefs and I'm holding them. My other teacher, I got to give him credit for this, Michael Bennett at Bennett Stellar University. He's freaking awesome. I just saw him last week. He would describe your beliefs like this. You're holding on. He's like, well, just loosen a little bit. And so tonight, just soften just a little bit, right? And as you notice, you're opening. What is there to protect? You actually keep opening. And even looking at my body language, like my heart is open. Those of you that are watching the video can see my phone in my chest because it's the only way to do this call in the video. But I'm like communicating love. So when you open, you become more love. And then the energy flows, right? Then you can actually see, like I can see my light flowing back up. But when I was like this, it actually gets dark. That's why they say, like, don't cross your legs for a long period of time. The circulation goes off. You're cutting your life force off. So it's like, alignment, the light comes straight through. It's one line of energy. Your intuitive guidance is boom. You know why it's the first feeling or first thought? Because you're always connected to source. So that's, by the way, follow your intuition. First thought, first feeling. Because boom, boom, your light, here you go. The second thought is your doubt. And then you start spinning. Have you ever noticed that in your life? Yeah. So that's what happens is, and then we get spun out. And that's where the grounding comes in, Lee, is like coming back to first chakra. Like getting back in a safety place so your brain can chill out. Because when you're in fear, your brain goes overactive. It starts creating panic, anxiety, stress, and then the body constricts, right? So the key is to stay in love and go back. Like, it's funny, like you have to build. The reason I teach the course the way I do it is because it really is foundation up to the next step, because you've got to get that foundation. You've got to be rooted in love to then feel your gut, to then know your power, to then know your heart. So it's like, you just want to work it. Work it, baby, work it. Just feel it, and it will move. It'll move you. But if you could just remember one thing, it's like, what? Did you really? I love that guy. He's awesome. He has such a great sense of humor. Totally. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, work it. Yeah, work it, baby, work it. And just deepen the love. So what I'm feeling right now for you is like it's a deepening into that feeling of that knowing. It's a softening of your heart, and it's a deepening of your knowing. Still lake, like when you, if you ever been to a lake, and if you were to put a pebble in that lake and it would float all the way to the bottom, that's how it is. It's like a rock going all the way bottom to the center of your being, and then it's just still. There's no ripple once it gets to the bottom. It's just. Yeah, you gotta just breathe into it and keep trusting it. Yeah, keep guiding it. This is so much fun, you guys. I'm so glad. So glad I followed my intuition. I've never done this before. I was like, it'll be fun.
I feel very excited.
Good. Yeah.
Yay! I do too.
Yay.
Good. I feel a lot of joy, and that's all we're here to do.
That's awesome. Well, if you guys want to continue, we're doing the group program in September, which I'm offering a really ridiculously low price because I've been guided. So if you want to do that, just send me an email and we can continue the group energy. I had another lady, she signed up this morning from Hawaii, and she will be on it. I told her that for the price I was giving her, it'd be the group. So you guys are all part of it. So if you want to continue this energy, would absolutely love to. Yeah, I can see the circle. So it'd be super fun. Yeah. So I think you guys have my email. All right, sounds good. I'm just gonna bye, you guys. Lots of love. So anybody that's watching this call, I just want to give you my direct email if you don't have it, which is Abby, ABBY, @success@LifeForceConnection. So hopefully you got a lot of this training that you could. I know that sometimes the phone is hard to hear their questions, but my intention was for you to get the activation. So may it serve you, and I will talk to you soon. Lots of love. Bye. Bye-bye.